congratulations on the film. Now, Hiftu and Natalie, so having looked through your back catalogue of films, it's very impressive, but it doesn't look like you've done anything quite like Something in the Water. What was the biggest sort of physical challenges for you doing this film?
Natalie, do you want to go?
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, definitely being in water for the majority of the film, that was definitely hard. And also, of course, battling the elements. I think being out in the Dominican Republic, which was absolutely beautiful, like it is a complete paradise, but as you can tell, I'm very fair. So yeah, having to deal with the sun and trying to not get sunburnt was a whole challenge in itself, which I did not succeed in. I did get sunburnt, but it's okay because the characters also get sunburnt. So, was it real? Was it makeup? You'll have to guess.
And what about yourself, Hiftu?
Yeah, I mean, like Natalie said, just being in the water for that long, you think, okay, I'm going to be in a hot country, it'll be 35 degrees, and I'll be in the water the whole time. Happy days, great. Although plot twist, where we were either in a tank that was freezing and was a challenge, in itself, or when we were shooting, because we shot up north for about a week or so, in a beautiful location where we actually shot in the sea. A lot of people, luckily, I didn't get the brunt of it, but quite a lot of people had issues with sandflies, was it? I can't quite remember. Is that what they're called? Sandflies. People just, it was like the plague. So it wasn't just us, it was, cast and crew battling with, natural and man-made elements. But we love a challenge, so
Now, Hayley, you've worked on a whole load of stuff from a visual effects with your visual effects background.
Yeah.
But this is your debut feature. Now, it's well known that Jaws was a notoriously difficult shoot. So what with shooting at sea, a shark that kept breaking down. So what were your problems? What problems did you find making this yourself?
Yeah, we had a lot. I mean, Jaws, I think, went 3 times over schedule, 3 times over budget, and we didn't really have the luxury of doing that. So we just had to get it done. And it was there was a lot of challenges, really. So the weather, obviously, when we're shooting Dominican Republic, it's a developing nation, so there are some things that aren't quite as easy to get. You can't get things imported, you can't sort of access materials or equipment or anything like that very easily. The weather was a big thing, and also just visually, like on camera, the weather it's just constantly changing. So to keep the continuity is impossible, like it's sunny, cloudy the whole time. I mean, in prep, we had a hurricane, which was a whole other drama because we were like, okay, it's great, it's in prep, it's fine. But actually, what you don't realize, or what I didn't realize, is that when you have a hurricane, it affects the oceans massively for a long time afterwards. So it was a couple of weeks of this weird weather after the hurricane, but then the oceans were, the crystal clear water that we originally had sort of vanished for quite a while, and that was a real challenge for filming because we shot a lot underwater. So there were a lot of days where we couldn't film because it was all still really cloudy and very changeable conditions. We'd go out and shoot in the boats, and there'd be some days there was like an 8-foot swell, and everyone was sick. The cast, the crew, apart from me and about 5 or 6 other people, the focus puller was throwing up while he was doing the focus. Just like everyone was just like, oh my god, this is carnage. Just every single day there was some sort of thing. The sandflies, the mosquitoes. There was just, and then the actual sort of reality of filming in water a lot. Because you slow down in water anyway, even in a controlled environment like the tank. So we had stunts and visual effects and special effects and a very, very tight schedule. So yeah, there was a lot to deal with.
Now, you mentioned about the storms. I understand that apart from there was a hurricane, there was an earthquake, there was
Oh
a
yeah.
tornado, there was storms. So for all of you, yourself, Hiftu and Natalie, that kind of must have been made the shoot even more arduous for you. Is that right?
yeah, I mean, I remember several times when we were shooting in the tank, we would, we'd finish take, come out of the tank, and then we'd look up, and the skies, would have become, grey and dark, and yeah, the local crew who were amazing, you know, would be like, you know, there's a storm coming, and then it would just be a bit of like, you know, what's happening? Are we going back in? Are we not? Because obviously, you know, safety comes first. So it was, yeah, really unpredictable. But I do have to say, like, I mean, the entire crew, especially the local crew, who were just so brilliant and knowledgeable. It was clear everyone was just trying their best to make it work. You know, as Hayley said, tight budget, tight schedule, no time really to mess around. And so, while those things were really challenging, I think everyone did a really impressive job of getting the job done.
Was that the same for yourself, Natalie?
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen weather like it. I know we sort of complain about the rain a lot here in the UK, but I've not like it would be beautiful and sunny, and then within like the space of a very short time, the heavens would just open and it just be torrential downpour. And of course, I always be thinking, oh, well, that's it then. You know, usually if it rains here, it's raining the whole day. We've got to blah, blah, blah. But it'd rain for like 10 minutes torrentially, and then it would just go and it would be sunny again. And of course, yeah, as Hiftu said, the local crew were amazing and they knew all of this stuff, and they were very good at adapting in the weather situation.
So Hayley, you've said yourself that you know Jaws is the daddy of all shark movies. So I'm wondering, what was the appeal of this particular script for yourself?
So when I got the script, I mean, I kind of fell in love with it straight away, and it was, you know, it's really well written. Kat did such a brilliant job, and she's so passionate about this, you know, this genre and this particular story. But I loved the fact it's kind of a different take on a shark film. You know, I've never seen anything like it, and it's sort of because it's about these brilliant women and their friendship. It's about their relationship, and you know, there are sharks, and it's a survival aspect to it, of course. But it's really the women you're invested in. It's really those characters. They're so strong, and you know, I sort of even on the page, I really believed their friendship. And that's the thing that, you know, I've watched lots and lots of these films, these kind of, you know, sort of shark thrillers and survival thrillers. And if you're not fully invested in those characters and you don't have that emotional connection with them and you don't believe their relationship, then it's, you know, whatever happens after that, it doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't have any impact. So that was the thing that really stood out with this. You know, it's these incredible characters, these brilliant women. And then, it's, you know, when they work, everything else works.
That's great. Thank you very much for your time. It's very impressive. I enjoyed it very much. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.